Alright, in this video I'm going to go over all the problems on the study guide for 2.2, 2.6. I'm going to go 1 through 24. I'm not going to spend too much time on each problem, but I will fully work them out. So let's start with number 1. So we have a third and 2/5, and we're comparing their values. In order for us to do that, we need a common denominator. Method 1 works great here because they're both small fractions. So 3 times 5, which yields a 15. Now we need to modify both denominators so they have 15. To modify 3, I'm going to multiply both top and bottom by 5. To modify 5, I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 3. When I do this, I end up with a fraction that looks like this, or a pair of fractions. And now it's very easy to see which one is the larger fraction, because now they have the same denominator. The 6 is greater than 5, and 2/5 is greater than a third. Alright, moving on to the next problem, which is 2. We have 3 over 4, and we have 7 over 9. Same thing here, common denominator. Method 1 is probably going to be your best bet here as well. So 4 times 9, which is going to give you a 36. So my job now is to convert both this denominator and this one to be 36. I'm going to multiply the first fraction by 9 on both top and bottom. I'm going to multiply the second fraction by 4, top and bottom. When I do this, I end up with 2 new fractions. This one, on the first one, is going to give me a 27 over 36. The second one is going to give me a 28 over 36. Very close, just like the one before. Hard to see otherwise which one's bigger, but now very easy since they have the same denominator. 28 is obviously bigger, and 7 over 9 is bigger than 3/4. Alright, next problem is going to be 3. Negative 4 over 5 compared with negative 5 over 6. So I'm going to go ahead and find the common denominator here so I can compare them. Method 1 here again will be in use. 5 times 6 yields a 30. That's my common denominator. So now I want to modify both fractions. I'm going to rewrite them right here real quick. So I don't have enough space there. I'm going to multiply them both. Oh, this one. So 5 for it to become 30, I'm going to multiply it by 6. The 6 for it to become 30, I'm going to multiply it by 5. And again, top and bottom, because you have to keep the equation balanced. That yields negative 24 over 30 compared with a negative 25 over 30. Now remember, with negatives, the further left you go in the number line, the smaller you are, thus the larger the number, the smaller the negative value is. So in this case, the 24 is smaller. With negatives, it's kind of the opposite. The smaller the number, the bigger it is. So that's number 3. I'm going to go ahead and work out 4 now. Similar problem type, 2 negative numbers, 2 fractions. Method 1, because I have small fractions that don't really have much in common. So the common denominator is going to be 3 times 8, which is 24. That's my CD. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and convert both denominators into 24. I'm going to rewrite the two fractions here because I don't have much room to work at the top. Sorry. Alright. That being said, how do I get a 3 to become a 24? I can multiply it by, wrong color, by an 8. Top and bottom. How do I get an 8 to become a 24? I multiply it by 3, top and bottom. And then I get my two new fractions after the modification. 8 times 2 is negative 16 over 24, our common denominator. And here we have negative 21 over 24. Very easy to see which one's bigger. Again, with negatives, the smaller number is actually the larger one in terms of value. So that's bigger. So the negative 16 over 24 is the bigger value over here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do number 5 now. Again, it's a comparison problem. We have 3 over 8 compared with 5 over 12. Here, I'm not going to use method 1 because the denominators are a bit bigger and I know I can get a smaller denominator. So I'm going to use method 2 here and find my LCD. So with 8, the multiples are 8, 16, 24, 32. With 12, my multiples are 12 itself, 24, 36, and I've just found my LCD, which is 24. So I'm going to convert both fractions to be 24, which is a lot better than multiplying 8 and 12 together, I promise you. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply the first fraction by 3, because 3 times 8 gives me 24. I want to multiply the second fraction by 2, because 2 times 12 gives me 24. And my two modified fractions are going to be 9 over 24 and 10 over 24. Very easy to see which one's larger now. The 10 is larger than the 9. Alright, 6 is next. With number 6, I'm comparing 11 over 15. Method 2 here, because I know it's going to be a big denominator otherwise. So the LCD method, method 2. The multiples of 15 are 15 itself, 30, 45, and so on. The multiples of 10 are 10, 20, 30, and so on. And I have my least common denominator here, which is 30. So I'm going to go ahead and write 30 down here. And since my least common denominator is 30, I'm going to go ahead and convert both of these so they can have that particular denominator here by 3 multiplication, here by 2, which gives me 2 new fractions. And of course 27 is bigger than 22. And that is number 6.